ഈശോ മിശിഹായിക്ക് സ്തുതിയായിരിക്കട്ടെ. പ്രിയമുള്ള സൺഡേ സ്കൂൾ കുഞ്ഞുങ്ങളെ, മതാധ്യാപകരെ, പ്രിയപ്പെട്ട മാതാപിതാക്കളെ, നമ്മുടെ രൂപതയിലെ ഈ വർഷത്തെ ബൈബിൾ ഓറിയന്റേഷൻ ക്യാമ്പ് മെയ് മാസം 29-30 തീയതികളിലായി നടത്തപ്പെടുകയാണ്. കഴിഞ്ഞ വർഷത്തെ പോലെ ഓൺലൈൻ പ്ലാറ്റ്ഫോമിലാണ് ഈ വർഷവും നാം ഈ ക്യാമ്പ് നടത്തുന്നത്. പ്രതിസന്ധികളുടെ ഒരു കാലഘട്ടത്തിലാണ് നാം ഈ ക്യാമ്പും നടത്തുന്നത്. ആ പശ്ചാത്തലത്തെ മുൻനിർത്തിക്കൊണ്ട് തിരുസഭാ മാതാവ് നമ്മുടെ വിചിന്തനത്തിന് ഈ വർഷം നൽകിയിരിക്കുന്നതായ പ്രത്യേകമായ വിഷയം വിശുദ്ധ ഔസേപ്പിതാവിനെ കുറിച്ചുള്ള ചിന്തകളാണ്. പരിശുദ്ധ ഫ്രാൻസിസ് മാർപ്പാപ്പ ഈ വർഷത്തെ വിശുദ്ധ ഔസേപ്പിതാവിന്റെ വർഷമായി പ്രഖ്യാപിച്ചിരിക്കുന്നു. So this year we are celebrating the year of Saint Joseph. So this is a particular time for us to remember, to recollect, and to understand the person of Saint Joseph. Pope Francis declared the year of Saint Joseph from December 8, 2020 to December 8, 2021. He declared this year through an apostolic article, encyclical. The name is Patris Corde. അതിൻ്റെ മലയാള നാമം പിതൃഹൃദയത്തോടെ എന്നാണ്. In the year 1870, Pope Pius IX submitted the entire Catholic Church in the hands of Saint Joseph. He declared, His Holiness declared this through an apostolic exhortation. The name is Covemad Modum Deus. It was published in the year 1870, December 8. So this year is the 150th anniversary of that dedication. When we recollect this matter, we can see certain kind of similarities between these 2 years. Then we can understand why Pope Francis declared this year as the year of Saint Joseph. In 1870, the background was very crucial and very difficult for the people of the entire world, because it was the time of capitalism and the industrial revolution, which creates a lot of problems, which creates a lot of confusions in the life of people and also in the relationships, their jobs, and their particular field of work. So it was the situation. Then the Pope declared and submitted the entire world, the entire Catholic Church, to the hands of Saint Joseph. And there is no difference when we analyze that the year 2019 and 20 is a crucial time for all of us. As we all know that the pandemic, COVID-19, is affecting all the fields of our people. It creates a lot of confusions. It limits a lot of things in the life of the people. Very miserable. It creates miserable things in the life of people. Many people lost their jobs. Many people lost their wealth. And also in the field of spiritual realm, we can also see that there is a lot of confusions. We can't go to the church and physically present in the church for our personal celebrations, Eucharistic celebrations, sacramental celebrations. And also there is a lot of problems when we consider the entire world. There is the sociological problems are there, the religious problems are there, and also the natural problems are there. It is and the poverty is there. So many things are there. Because of these reasons, Pope Francis declared 2019 to 20 and also 21 as the year of Saint Joseph. Because when Pope took the person of Saint Joseph, he is very clear that this is the apt person which we can follow in this pandemic period. Because a person who suffered a lot, a person who ran a lot, a person who was with God. That's why Pope Francis declared this year in the hands of Saint Joseph and declared this year as the year of Saint Joseph. Together with that, Pope Francis also declared this year as the year of family. It is because this year is the 50th anniversary of the publication of Amoris Laetitia, an encyclical which published just after the Bishops' Synod which held in the year 2014 and 2015 in Rome. When we come to the point, the real personality of Saint Joseph, there is no clear evidences with regard to the life history of Saint Joseph. But there are biblical narrations. But there are biblical instances which clearly mentioned the person of Saint Joseph. So I would like to narrate some of them. I would like to go to the Gospels. When we come to the Gospels, only 3 Gospels are mentioning the name of Saint Joseph. They are the Gospel of Saint Matthew, Gospel of Saint Luke, and Gospel of Saint John. There is no mentioning of the name in any of the writings of Saint Paul and also in the Gospel of Saint Mark. So we can go to the Gospels. When we come to the Gospel of Saint Matthew, there we can see 8 times the name Saint Joseph is mentioned. So I would like to bring before you that 8 instances where the name Joseph is clearly mentioned. First one is in the chapter 1 verses 1 to 17. That is the genealogy of Jesus. Second one is in the chapter 1 verse 18. Joseph betrothed to Mary. In chapter 1, 20, 21, we can see angel visits Joseph. This is the first dream of Joseph. In chapter 1, verse 25, there we can see the birth of Jesus. In chapter 2, 13, there we can see angel tells Joseph to flee. This is the second dream of Saint Joseph. So in chapter 2, verses 14 to 15, we can also see that flight into Egypt together with Mary. In other instance, chapter 2, verses 19 and 20, we can see angel tells Joseph to return to Nazareth. This is the third dream of Joseph. Next one is chapter 2, 21 and 23. Joseph and family settle in Nazareth. These are the 8 instances where the name Joseph is clearly mentioned. And also here in chapter 13 verse 55, the gospel presents Joseph as a carpenter. So when we come to the gospel of Saint Luke, there we can see 7 times the name of Saint Joseph is mentioned. First one is Joseph lived in Nazareth, chapter 2 verse 4. Second one is genealogy of Jesus, chapter 3, 23. Third one is Joseph and Mary traveled to Bethlehem, chapter 2 verses 1 to 5. Fourth one is birth of Jesus, chapter 2 verses 6 and 7. 5. The temple presentation, chapter 2, verses 22 to 24. Next one is Joseph and family settle in Nazareth, chapter 2, verse 39. And the last one is finding Jesus in the temple, chapter 2, 41 to 51. So in the Gospel of St. John, chapter 6, 41 to 42, mentioning of Holy Family. There the name also came. When we consider the town of Nazareth, it is an obscure village in Galilee, about 65 kilometers away from the holy city of Jerusalem. When we also analyze the life of Saint Joseph, there we can see 2 instances. It is very clear that it is mentioned that Joseph is the father of Jesus Christ and also the husband of Mary. These are the 2 indications which we take from, which we can use, or the Bible narratives gives us these things. Some historical evidences are there which says that he was born in the 100 BC and died in 1 AD in Nazareth or some other places. His parents, it is mentioned in 2 Gospels in different names. In Matthew 1:16, it is said that Jacob is the father of Joseph, and in Luke 3:23, it is said that Heli is the father of Saint Joseph. But there are some apocryphal writings which are clearly mentioning the life history of Saint Joseph. I would like to bring for you 2 of them. One is Proto-Evangelium of James. It was written in the year 2nd century, that is 150 AD. And second one is the history of Joseph the carpenter. It was written in the year 5th century AD. There also it is mentioned that he died at the age of 111. But I am not sure whether the Catholic Church is holding these views in a systematic way, in a clear manner. In the book of Eusebius of Caesarea, in his book Church History, the history of Joseph is also mentioned, and in the book of the great Greek philosopher Celsus, on the True Doctrine, it is the name of his book, the life history of Joseph is also mentioned. And also in Epiphanius, Bishop of Salamis, in the year 374, he wrote a book, in the Panarion, where also the mentioning of Joseph is there. When we consider the death of Joseph, the circumstances of Joseph's death are not known too much, but it is likely that he died before Jesus' ministry began. History of Saint Joseph has a long account of Joseph's peaceful death in the presence of Jesus, Mary, and angels. When we come to the church, the veneration of Saint Joseph in the church, we can analyze that also. Saint Jerome, in the year 4th century, in his article Contre Helvidius, he mentioned Saint Joseph. So this is the first book which first time mentioned the name of Saint Joseph. Later, he was called as Nutritor Domini till the 9th. It was started in the year AD 800 onwards. He was referred as Nutritor Domini, which means educator or the guardian of the Lord. It lasted till the 14th century. In 15th century, major steps were taken when we considered the life history of Saint Joseph. Saint Bernardine of Siena, he was a popular preacher and an Italian priest and a Franciscan missionary, lived in the year 1380 to 1444. In his work, Sermon on Saint Joseph, he clearly mentioned about Saint Joseph. And also Jean Gerson, a great French scholar, educator and a poet, and he was the Chancellor of the University of Paris, wrote in his lengthy treatise regarding Joseph. The name is Consideration sur Saint Joseph. And also he wrote a poem in Latin, the Josephina. It promoted the saint and his virtues across Western Europe. He preached sermons on Saint Joseph at the Council of Constance, which held in the year 1440 and 1418. And also the formal veneration of the Holy Family began in the 17th century by Bishop Francois de Lava. He was the first Roman Catholic bishop of Quebec, Canada. So when we come to the encyclicals in the church, we can see clearly mentions about Saint Joseph. Pope Pius XIX declared Saint Joseph to be patron of the Universal Church in the year 1878, December 8, through an apostolic book, exhortation, Quema Modum Deus. Quema Modum Deus. In 1870, July 7, liturgical norms for the celebration of Saint Joseph through an encyclical, Inclitum Patriarchum. And also in the year 1889, August 15, encyclical of Pope Leo XIII on devotion to Saint Joseph. It was named as Quamcum Pluris. Quamcum Pluris. In 1955, Pope Pius XII established May 1st as the feast of Saint Joseph the worker. In the year 1961, March 19, Saint Joseph is named as the patron of the Second Vatican Council through Le Voci. In 1969, March 27, Pope Paul VI preaches on the person of Saint Joseph and his many virtues. In 1989, Apostolic Exhortation on Saint Joseph by Pope John Paul II. It is the centenary time of the encyclical of Quaemat Modum Deus. And the encyclical which written by Pope John Paul II is Redemptoris Custos. The English name is Guardian of the Redeemer. In 2004, March 19, Pope Benedict XVI considers the importance of the person of Saint Joseph in Angelus address. In 2013, May 1st, Pope Francis inserts the name of Saint Joseph in Eucharistic prayers of Latin Rite through an encyclical, Paternus Vices. In 2020, Pope Francis declared the year of Saint Joseph. So, a number of countries received the patronage of Saint Joseph, among them Austria, Belgium, Canada, China, Croatia, Indonesia, Mexico, Korea, Peru, Philippines, and Vietnam are included. So, these are the historical backgrounds of the life history of Saint Joseph. When we consider, നമ്മൾ വീണ്ടും പുതിയ നിയമത്തിലേക്ക് വരുമ്പോഴും പഴയ നിയമത്തിലേക്ക് വരുമ്പോഴും ഒരു കഥാപാത്രത്തെ കണ്ടെത്തുന്നുണ്ട്, സെയിന്റ് ജോസഫ്. There we can also in the Old Testament there is also a Joseph. There are a lot of resemblances with the Old Testament Joseph with the New Testament Joseph. So in the Old Testament Joseph is mentioned in the book of Genesis, chapter 35 verses 23 to 26, the chapters 37, 39 and 50. So when we consider these two, ഞാനിത് പറയുന്നത് നമ്മളിത് പഴയ നിയമത്തിലെ ജോസഫിനെ കുറിച്ച് പറയുന്ന സ്പെഷ്യാലിറ്റീസ് ആണ്. അതെല്ലാം തന്നെ പുതിയ നിയമത്തിലെ ജോസഫുമായിട്ട് ബന്ധപ്പെട്ടിരിക്കുന്നു എന്നുള്ളത് നമുക്ക് മനസ്സിലാക്കാനായിട്ട് സാധിക്കും. അവ ഇപ്രകാരമാണ്. ഒന്ന്, തെറ്റിദ്ധരിക്കപ്പെട്ട വ്യക്തിത്വമായിരുന്നു. പിതാവ് ഏറ്റവും അധികം സ്നേഹിച്ച വ്യക്തിത്വമായിരുന്നു. പാപ സാഹചര്യങ്ങളെ ഒഴിവാക്കിയ വ്യക്തിത്വമായിരുന്നു. സ്വപ്നങ്ങളുടെ മനുഷ്യനായിരുന്നു, എ മാൻ ഓഫ് ഡ്രീം. വളരെയധികം വേദനകളിലൂടെ കടന്നുപോയ വ്യക്തിത്വമായിരുന്നു. യഹോവയായ ദൈവത്തെ മുറുകെ പിടിച്ച വ്യക്തിത്വമായിരുന്നു. എല്ലാം ക്ഷമയോടെ സഹിച്ച വ്യക്തിത്വമായിരുന്നു. വികാരങ്ങൾക്ക് അടിമപ്പെടാത്ത വ്യക്തിത്വമായിരുന്നു. ആരെയും വിഷമിപ്പിക്കാത്ത വ്യക്തിത്വമായിരുന്നു. ദൈവഹിതത്തിന് സ്വയം വിട്ടുകൊടുത്ത വ്യക്തിത്വമായിരുന്നു. ദൈവം ഉയർത്തിയ വ്യക്തിത്വമായിരുന്നു. പഴയ നിയമത്തിലെ ജോസഫിനെ കുറിച്ച് പറയുന്ന ഈ എല്ലാ കാര്യങ്ങളും we can see in the life of the New Testament Joseph. So when we come to the book Patris Corde, there Pope Francis is mentioning 7 qualities of Saint Joseph. He was a beloved father. Joseph, a tender and loving father. Joseph, an obedient father. Joseph, an accepting father. Joseph, a creatively courageous father. Joseph, a working father. Joseph, a father in the shadows. ആദ്യകാലം മുതൽ യൗസേപ്പ് പിതാവിനെ നല്ല മരണത്തിന്റെ മധ്യസ്ഥനായിട്ട് കരുതിയിരുന്നു. രോഗികളുടെ മധ്യസ്ഥനായിട്ട് കരുതിയിരുന്നു. തൊഴിലാളികളുടെ മധ്യസ്ഥനായിട്ട് കരുതിയിരുന്നു. പിതാക്കന്മാരുടെ മധ്യസ്ഥനായിട്ട് കരുതിയിരുന്നു. പ്രധാന ഫീസ്റ്റ് ഡേയ്സ്, പ്രധാനപ്പെട്ട സെലിബ്രേഷൻസ് ജോസഫുമായിട്ട് ബന്ധപ്പെട്ട് നമ്മൾ ചിന്തിക്കുമ്പോൾ മാർച്ച് 19, വെസ്റ്റേൺ ക്രിസ്ത്യാനിറ്റിയിൽ മാർച്ച് 19 ഒരു ആഘോഷമാണ്. അതുപോലെ തന്നെ 3rd വെനസ്ഡേ ആഫ്റ്റർ ഈസ്റ്റർ സൺഡേ യൗസേപ്പ് പിതാവിന്റെ ആഘോഷത്തിന്റെ ഒരു ദിവസമാണ്. അതുപോലെ തന്നെ മെയ് 1, May 1st is a celebration of Saint Joseph is there, and also the Sunday after the nativity of the Lord. Eastern Christianity ഒരു പ്രധാനപ്പെട്ട തിരുനാളിന്റെ ദിവസമാണ്. All Christian denominations which venerate saints, വിശുദ്ധരെ വണങ്ങുന്നതായ എല്ലാ ക്രിസ്തീയ വിഭാഗങ്ങളും ജോസഫിനെയും പ്രത്യേകമായിട്ട് സ്വീകരിച്ചിട്ടുണ്ട്. സോ ഐ ആം വെരി ഹാപ്പി. നൗ ഐ കൺക്ലൂഡ് മൈ സെഷൻ ഓൺ സെയിന്റ് ജോസഫ്. We can follow the path of Saint Joseph as a good father. We can see that he is a model of all time. So be a good father, be a good teacher, be a good student, always be a good friend, be a good worker, and wherever we are, we have to be there in its fullness. So may God bless you all, and I wish all the success for this year's camp. And I appreciate the catechism department and the persons behind this beautiful venture. May God bless you all, my dear children, and parents and catechism teachers. We can pray together. We can accept the model of Saint Joseph. ദൈവം നിങ്ങളെല്ലാവരെയും അനുഗ്രഹിക്കട്ടെ. ഈശോ മിശിഹായ്ക്ക് സ്തുതിയായിരിക്കട്ടെ.